Yes, here I am again, ladies and gentlemen, back. You see, we got to get this thing in a proper perspective that we can understand it. We got to stop calling this racism, though it is. We got to stop calling this hatred and bigotry, though it is. But we're going to have to give it its broader name to include all of those things that some of us might be familiar with that others aren't. We're going to call it evil. Evil because it destroys, it causes pain, it causes sufferings to one. It is guilty if it causes it to one, but it causes it to millions. In fact, it causes it to billions. That's how evil works. And whenever you find any powers that exist, and part of the fabric of this power is pain and suffering, it is an illegitimate power structure. And the people must know it. The people must be aware of it somehow, some fashion. And how are they to be aware of it? Except there are those who are aware of it and are demonstrating it. How do you demonstrate it? By exposing the ugliness of the current way of doing things and revealing how it is supposed to work and how the consequences would be different. That's one way. But what we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen, is straight up, in America, straight up evil against, others want to call it, well, put it in the words of the Republicans and the Democrats, they call it, this is a fight for the soul of America. Can you believe that? Republican, do you know what the soul is supposed to mean? Do you know what the soul is supposed to represent? All that humanity is, all that man is, the life of the body, the spirit, and a struggle for the soul by something as ugly as the Republican and the Democratic Party, as something as evil as the American system of government, fighting for the soul. Well, that simply means, ladies and gentlemen, that the people, the masses, are not familiar with the enlightenment. They are not familiar with the truth of life. They are not really familiar with God. They've heard people talk about God, ladies and gentlemen, but they haven't seen the workings of God outside of the earth, outside of the resources of the earth, outside of the materials that are used, that have been given by a power we can't see for the benefit of those who benefit from it. They can't see anything outside of that. In other words, there are some that call themselves elite, first class, got most of the money, can do whatever they want to do, and they use other people who are struggling trying to get some of that money, doing all kinds of jobs, doing all kinds of despicable things, having sex with animals just to please some people so they can get money, doing drugs and stuff trying to hide from the misery and the pain of life, selling drugs trying to see if they can get a way out, doing all kinds of things, abusing one another because they figure it has happened to them and no one cared. And so hell is just reigning supreme. Evil is just running and running. And today we find it in the United States of America, where all of those, so many of them who have called themselves standing for something decent, they didn't really stand for anything decent because decency has never been expressed in this country. But they called themselves as expressing something decent. And as soon as the ugliest of them stands out in their time, It gives them permission to celebrate deep down inside. You can tell by the way they act outside that they must be overwhelmed with joy inside. That finally somebody has come along that's given them the power to stack the courts, to represent all of the ugliness that they represent, all of that which they have presented to the world, all of that which God, through the life of George Floyd, showed us what they are about. They're trying to gang it up and celebrate it. That's all evil, ladies and gentlemen, straight up evil. Is it anything good for people of color? Of course not. Is there anything in it where the people of color are not to be used and abused? No. So it is absolutely evil, at least to us. They might think it's all good. Their God might allow them to agree that it's all good. But to us, it's pure evil. Now, if our God could just give us a balance, to give us an odd so we can stand against them like they and Russia stand against one another until Trump got in office, then we would just be at a standstill. Each of us able to do the best we could our way. Now to some, that's fine. And hey, you can't do any better than that, except if you keep the door open. Keeping the door open for anyone who choose to decide, choose to make a decision, choose and make a decision that perhaps this way that we have gone, the righteous way, isn't so bad. Now, that's a decision that's for any and everybody to make. But for anybody to give in righteousness, give in to evil, no way, Jose. Now, I'm going to say that one of our main concerns in this particular struggle is to make sure that every American get a career. Everybody have a job. Everybody in America. Now, that breaks it down. You know how it works. When I say everybody got a job, we're talking about, say, like a family. Usually, the man goes out and work. The wives say, me too. And that's beautiful. But the concern is that everybody contribute in the process of creating all of the goods, all of the services. That we do this in such a way that everybody can have from the reservoir of goods and services whatever they need, want, or desire that comes out of the workings of men who give their gifts to create an abundance of goods and services, that no one would be without any of these things. Any of these things, not simply the things that provide them survival, like food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, but any and everything else. That is our concern. That is our concern, because to me, and to anybody that speaks about righteousness, knows that if it's righteous for the good, it's righteous for even the evil. If it's righteous for the goose, it's righteous for the gander. We can't say it's righteous for us because we believe in righteousness, but it's no good for them. Yes, they get a chance to live in righteousness, but that's all. The stuff that they do will not be tolerated. What do I mean? It will not be tolerated. I basically mean that no one benefits from it. It's like selling drugs. Everybody want to make some money because it's a way to make some money. But make drugs free. Grow your own. Nobody be trying to make any money. Don't be killing each other trying to get it. Maybe not even want it. Why? Because they can have it if they want it. So, what am I basically saying? I'm basically saying this. We got to change the society. We have to change the way of doing things. What we see right now, I want to say this and then I'm going to close. I want you to stop. I wish you could see this park out here right now. It really looks beautiful. And it would be so much more beautiful if I could take life and see it placed out here and see it operate beautifully. And there would be little spots where beauty shines. And there would be turmoil in so many places. And the people would not recognize that that turmoil was created by something. They have been told that it was the result of something else. See, they were lied to. They didn't tell them what really caused that turmoil. They didn't tell them that that turmoil came because these people had been abused, that these people had been messed over. No, they told them that these people were indecent. They told them that these people were savages, that these people were inhuman. They weren't as smart and as wise as you are. And so you grew up hating these people because you were taught that they were inhuman, savages. Not that you had benefited from abusing them. See, that's how that lie goes. That's how that lie goes. So anyone who realizes righteousness recognizes how you've been misled. And even in this, they want you to see another side, and they want to show you that other side. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to prepare for. And I'll talk to you later.